Welcome, dear dreamer, to Forgotten Hours, a place where time slows and stories guide you gently toward rest. If you enjoy these whispered journeys, I invite you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts, reflections, or suggestions in the comments below. Your support helps these quiet tales continue their path across the night. And together, we create a circle of calm. Chapter 1. Dusk at the Caravanserai. The sun settles low behind the ancient walls, casting shadows that dance like gentle spirits across the courtyard. You approach the Caravanserai as evening light fades to amber, then to gold, then to the softest purple. Your footsteps echo softly on worn stone, stone that has welcomed countless travelers for over 800 years. Each footfall joins the whispers of merchants who came before you, Persian traders, Arab scholars, Chinese silk weavers, all seeking rest beneath these protective walls. You pause at the great wooden gates. The timber is weathered and smooth, polished by thousands of hands that have pushed these doors open, seeking shelter from the desert winds. The iron hinges creak their ancient song, a melody of welcome that has played for centuries. Through the archway, you enter the heart of the Caravanserai. The courtyard spreads before you like a calm oasis. Flickering oil lamps hang from carved wooden posts. Their flames dance lazily in the evening breeze, casting moving patterns of light and shadow on the walls. The air carries the scent of wood smoke and something deeper, something that speaks of distant lands. Sandalwood, perhaps, or the faint sweetness of dried roses. You breathe deeply, letting the fragrances settle into your lungs, your shoulders relaxing with each gentle exhale. Around the courtyard, merchants tend to their camels. The great beasts kneel on folded legs, their long necks swaying slowly as they chew. Their breathing is deep and rhythmic, like the sound of distant waves. Each exhale creates small clouds in the cooling air, drifting upward toward the first stars. A Persian merchant adjusts his camel's load. His movements are practiced, unhurried. He speaks softly to his animal in Farsi, words that sound like music, like a gentle stream flowing over smooth stones. The camel's eyes are half closed, peaceful, trusting. You find a place to sit on a low stone bench. The stone still holds warmth from the day's sun, a comfortable heat that seeps through your clothes, into your back, your legs. You settle deeper into this warmth, feeling your muscles soften, your breathing slow. Near the center of the courtyard, a small fire burns in a circular pit. The flames are low, steady, hypnotic. They cast golden light on the faces of travelers gathered around. Some speak in hushed tones. Others sit in comfortable silence, watching the fire dance. An elderly man with a white beard sits cross-legged on a carpet. His hands rest gently on his knees, his eyes reflecting the firelight. He tells a story in Arabic, his voice rising and falling like distant music. Though you cannot understand the words, the rhythm soothes you, like a lullaby from another world. The stars emerge slowly, one by one. The sky deepens from purple to deep blue, to the color of midnight velvet. Venus appears first, bright and steady above the western wall. Then other stars follow, ancient lights that have guided caravans across these routes for thousands of years. A woman in blue robes sits nearby, weaving colored threads on a small loom. Her fingers move with practiced grace, creating patterns that seem to flow like water. The threads catch the lamplight, silk and wool in shades of sapphire, emerald, deep crimson. Each movement of her hands is meditation, prayer expressed through craft. The sound of her weaving blends with other gentle noises. The soft snorting of camels, the whisper of wind through the courtyard, the distant murmur of voices, the crackle of the fire. All these sounds weave together into a symphony of peace, a blanket of sound that wraps around you like silk. You close your eyes for a moment, listening to this ancient music. Your body sinks deeper into the warm stone. The day's journey fades from your muscles, from your mind. You are held here, safe within these walls, protected by centuries of hospitality. A servant brings you a small glass of tea. The liquid steams gently, carrying the scent of mint and cardamom. You wrap your hands around the warm glass, feeling the heat flow into your palms, up your arms. The first sip is perfect, sweet, aromatic, warming your throat, your chest, spreading comfort through your entire being. The merchant with the white beard finishes his story. A gentle silence settles over the group around the fire, broken only by the soft sounds of camels shifting, the whisper of wind, the quiet breathing of peaceful travelers. This silence is not empty, but full, rich with contentment, with the deep satisfaction of journey's end. Above, the stars grow brighter. The constellation Perseus rises in the east, the same stars that guided Persian astronomers centuries ago. They mapped these lights, gave them names, used them to navigate the great trade routes. Tonight, they shine down on you with the same gentle radiance, eternal, unchanging, infinitely calm. A young boy tends the fire, adding small pieces of aromatic wood. The flames accept each offering with quiet grace, growing slightly brighter, releasing new fragrances into the night air. Cedar, perhaps, or sweet apple wood. The scent mingles with the smoke, creating incense that rises toward the stars. The camel nearest you lets out a soft rumble, a sound of contentment, of deep relaxation. Its eyes are fully closed now, its breathing deep and even. The rhythm is infectious, your own breathing beginning to match. Deep breath in, slow breath out, in perfect harmony with this gentle creature. The woman with the loom sets her work aside. She stretches her fingers, then her arms, movements flowing like dance. She smiles softly at her progress. Threads of many colors now forming the beginning of something beautiful. A carpet, perhaps, or a wall hanging that will bring beauty to someone's home. An older woman emerges from one of the rooms that line the courtyard. She carries a small oil lamp, its light creating a golden sphere around her as she moves. She checks on the travelers, offering additional blankets, more tea, asking in gentle tones if anyone needs anything. Her care is motherly, universal, the same kindness shown to strangers for countless generations. A man plays softly on a wooden flute. The melody is simple, haunting, notes that seem to float on the night air like visible things, like golden threads connecting earth to sky. The music speaks of home, of longing, of the deep satisfaction of arrival after a long journey. Each note dissolves into the next, creating an endless river of sound. Your eyelids grow heavy. The day's travel, the comfort of arrival, the gentle sounds and scents and warmth all combine to create a deep drowsiness. Your head nods slightly, then jerks back up, but the pull of sleep is gentle, insistent, like gravity, like the natural rhythm of night itself. The stars wheel slowly overhead, ancient lights in their eternal dance. They have watched over caravans for thousands of years. Persian merchants, Arab traders, Chinese pilgrims, Mongol horsemen. All have rested beneath these same stars, in caravanserais much like this one. The continuity is comforting. You are part of something larger, older, infinitely peaceful. A camel bell rings softly in the distance, probably from a late arriving caravan. The sound carries across the desert air, sweet and clear, fading slowly into silence. It speaks of journey's end, of safe arrival, of the eternal rhythm of the Silk Road. Traders coming and going, but always finding rest, always finding welcome. The merchant with the white beard rises slowly, his joints creaking softly. He bows slightly to the group around the fire. A gesture of gratitude, of farewell. He moves toward one of the rooms, his footsteps soft on the stone, disappearing into the gentle darkness. One by one, others follow, seeking their beds, their dreams. You remain wrapped in your blanket, watching the fire burn down to glowing coals. The courtyard grows quieter, more peaceful. The remaining sounds are all soft, all comforting. The breathing of sleeping camels, the whisper of wind through the archways, the distant murmur of voices from other rooms. The woman who was weaving gathers her threads, rolling them carefully, placing them in a wooden box. Her movements are unhurried, reverent. She treats her materials like precious things, because they are. Each thread represents months of work, from the silkworms in Chinese groves, from the sheep in Persian highlands, from the cotton fields of Central Asia. The coals pulse gently, glowing brighter, then dimmer, like the breathing of some great benevolent creature. The light they cast is soft, red-orange, warming your face, your hands. You lean closer, feeling the heat like a blessing, like an embrace from an old friend. Soon, you too will rise, will make your way to one of the small rooms, will lie on soft carpets, beneath warm blankets, will listen to the night sounds of the caravanserai, and drift into dreams of silk and spices, of starlight and ancient roads. But for now, you remain, savoring these last moments by the dying fire. A night air carries new scents now, the coolness that comes after sunset in the desert, the faint sweetness of night-blooming flowers, somewhere in the courtyard, jasmine, perhaps, or desert rose. These fragrances mix with the lingering smoke, creating perfume that speaks of this place, this moment, this perfect peace. Your breathing deepens, your muscles release their last tensions. The warmth, the sounds, the scents, all combine to create a cocoon of comfort. You are held here, safe, welcomed, part of an ancient tradition of hospitality that stretches back through centuries, through millennia. The stars shine down, constant, eternal, beautiful. Tomorrow you will continue your journey, will walk new roads, see new sights. But tonight, you rest. Tonight, you are exactly where you need to be, in the gentle embrace of the caravanserai, surrounded by the whispers of the Silk Road, carried toward sleep on wings of perfect peace. Chapter 2. The Perfume of Spices. Morning light filters through the wooden shutters, soft, golden, painting gentle rectangles on the stone floor. You wake slowly, gradually, like rising from the depths of a warm pool. The sounds of the caravanserai drift in, muffled, peaceful. The soft voices of merchants preparing for the day ahead. You rise, stretch, feel the pleasant soreness of yesterday's journey melting away. Through the window, you can see the courtyard coming alive with quiet activity. Camels being loaded with careful precision, travelers checking their goods, but all moving with the unhurried rhythm of people who understand that the desert teaches patience. The air carries new scents now, rich, complex, speaking of the market that spreads beyond the caravanserai walls. Cinnamon, warm and sweet. Cardamom, exotic and mysterious. And beneath these, the deeper notes of leather and wool, of dust and distant rain. You step into the courtyard. The stones are cool beneath your feet. The morning air crisp against your skin. The sun is still low, casting long shadows that will soon shrink as the day progresses. But for now, the light is gentle, perfect for exploring, for discovering the treasures that await in the market squares. A merchant approaches, his smile warm, welcoming. He gestures toward the gates, speaking in Persian, then Arabic, then broken Chinese, finally settling on gestures and smiles that need no translation. He wants to show you the market, to share the wonders that lie just beyond these walls. You follow him through the great gates, into streets that have seen centuries of trade. The cobblestones are worn smooth by countless footsteps, by the pads of camels, by the wheels of carts laden with silk and spices. Each stone holds memories, stories of merchants and pilgrims, of goods that traveled thousands of miles to reach this place. The first stall appears around a corner, an explosion of color and scent that stops you in your tracks. Saffron, displayed in small pyramids, each thread golden, precious, worth its weight in silver. The vendor, an elderly woman with henna'd hands, smiles as you approach. She takes a few threads, rubs them between her fingers, releasing their incomparable fragrance. The scent of saffron fills your nostrils, complex, sweet, slightly metallic. It speaks of fields in Persia where purple crocuses bloom, of careful harvests at dawn, of the delicate work of extracting these precious stigmas, one, by hand. You close your eyes, letting the fragrance transport you to those distant fields. Beside the saffron, other spices create their own rainbows. Turmeric in golden mounds, sumac in ruby-red cascades, black peppercorns like tiny spheres of midnight, each one telling its own story of distant lands, of difficult journeys, of hands that grew and harvested and prepared these treasures. The vendor offers you a cup of tea, the liquid, golden from saffron, sweet from honey, warming from cardamom. You sit slowly, tasting the complexity, feeling the warmth spread through your chest. This is not just tea, but liquid geography, liquid history, the essence of the Silk Road in a simple cup. You move deeper into the market, each step bringing new discoveries. A carpet seller has spread his wares in the morning sun. Persian rugs in impossible colors, deep blues like the night sky, reds like rubies, gold like desert sunset. The patterns tell stories, geometric tales that have been woven for generations, passed from mother to daughter, a language of threads and knots. The carpet seller invites you to touch, to feel. His hands guide yours to different textures. Here, silk so fine it feels like water. There, wool so soft it could be cloud. Each carpet represents months of work, thousands of knots, tied with prayers and songs, with the patience of centuries. You kneel on one particularly beautiful rug, the wool thick beneath your knees, supporting you like an embrace. The pattern swirls around you, endless, hypnotic, drawing your eyes into spirals that seem to move on their own. You could lose yourself here in these colors, these patterns, these stories told in thread and dye. The sounds of the market create a gentle symphony around you. The soft voices of merchants calling their wares, not harsh or demanding, but musical, almost singing. The rustle of silk being unfolded, the gentle clink of spice being poured, the soft footfalls of shoppers moving from stall to stall. A silk merchant displays her goods with reverence. bolts of fabric in colors that have no names. Emerald green shot through with gold. Purple so deep it seems to hold the night. White so pure it might be moonlight made solid. She unrolls a length of silk, the fabric flowing like liquid, catching the light, creating its own aurora in the market air. You reach out, touch the silk with one finger. It is cool, smooth, impossibly soft. The texture speaks of silkworms in distant groves, of careful cultivation, of the ancient secrets of sericulture that were once worth more than gold. This fabric has traveled thousands of miles, has been treasured by emperors and merchants alike. The silk merchant wraps a length around your shoulders. The fabric settles like a whisper, light as air, but somehow substantial, comforting. You feel transformed, not just clothed, but adorned. Made beautiful by the work of countless hands, by the accumulated skill of generations. In another stall, a spice merchant creates small mountains of cinnamon bark. The pieces curl like ancient scrolls, each one hiding its own sweet secrets. He breaks off a small piece, offers it to you. The taste is immediate, warm, complex. Speaking of tropical forests, of careful harvest, of long journeys in caravans much like your own. Children play between the stalls, their laughter like silver bells in the morning air. They chase each other around the carpet displays, through curtains of hanging silk, their joy infectious, timeless. The same games children have played in markets for centuries. Their presence makes the market feel alive, human, connected to the eternal rhythms of life and growth. An elderly man sits cross-legged beside a display of brass and copper. His hands work steadily on a small bowl, hammer tapping gently, creating patterns that catch and hold the light. The rhythm of his work is meditation. Each tap a prayer, each curve a blessing. The metal sings under his touch, transformation happening slowly, patiently. You pause to watch his work, the rhythm hypnotic, soothing. Your breathing naturally synchronizes with his hammering. In, tap, tap. Out, tap, tap. A sound seems to echo in your chest, in your bones, connecting you to this ancient craft, to the patience and skill required to create beauty from raw material. The metalworker pauses, looks up, smiles, his eyes crinkled from years of squinting at fine work, of concentrating on delicate details. He shows you the bowl, the metal smooth as silk, decorated with patterns that flow like water, like wind, like the movement of stars across the night sky. This too is language, mathematics and art combined, speaking across cultures, across time. The morning sun climbs higher, the shadows shift, the market awakens fully. But even at its busiest, it maintains its peaceful rhythm. Merchants and customers alike understand that hurry has no place here, that the best transactions happen slowly, with care, with respect for the goods and the people involved. A tea seller, calls softly from his stall, his voice like music, like an invitation to rest, to refresh, to connect. His samovar gleams in the sunlight, brass polished to mirror brightness. Steam rises from its spout like incense, carrying scents of mint and rose, of bergamot and cardamom. Each blend tells its own story, offers its own comfort. You approach, accept a small glass. The tea is perfect temperature, hot enough to warm, not so hot as to burn. The taste is complex, layered, speaking of gardens in distant lands, of careful blending, of the art of tea-making perfected over centuries. You sip slowly, feeling the warmth spread through your body, your spirit. Around the tea stall, other merchants have gathered for their morning ritual. The sharing of tea, of news, of stories from the road. Their conversation flows like the tea itself, warm, comforting, inclusive. They gesture for you to join, to sit on the carpeted bench. You settle among them. The carpet soft beneath you, the warm glass comfortable in your hands. The conversation washes over you. Sometimes in Persian, sometimes Arabic, sometimes the universal language of gestures and smiles. Each piece unique, telling its own story in thread and needle. The merchants examine her work with appreciation, with understanding of the hours, the skill, the artistic vision required. She spreads one piece on the carpet, a shawl perhaps, or a wall hanging. The embroidery depicts a garden, trees heavy with fruit, birds in flight, flowers that seem to move in the slight breeze. The work is so fine, so detailed, that it seems alive, breathing, growing. The needlework speaks of patience, of meditation in motion, each stitch placed with intention, with prayer. The colors blend and flow, creating depth, dimension, life itself captured in thread. This is not just craft but art, not just decoration but devotion, the outward expression of inner beauty. More tea appears in your glass. The tea seller's assistant, moving among the group, refilling without being asked, understanding the rhythm of hospitality, the importance of these morning gatherings, of connection, of the slow sharing that builds community, builds trust, builds the foundation upon which all commerce, all civilization ultimately rests. The sun continues its climb, the light changing, warming, the shadows shortening, the market awakening to its full midday glory. But here, in this circle of tea drinkers, time moves differently, slower, richer, measured not by clocks but by conversations, by the depth of connections forming, by the shared appreciation of beauty and craft. A musician appears, carrying a simple wooden flute. He settles on the edge of the circle, begins to play. The melody simple, haunting, speaking of home and journeys, of meetings and partings. of the eternal rhythm of the road. His music weaves through the conversation, supporting it, enriching it, adding another layer to this moment of peace. The spices around you release their fragrances more fully as the air warms, creating a complex perfume that changes with every breath. Cinnamon and cardamom, rose and sandalwood, saffron and sumac. Each scent carries its own memories, its own associations, its own power to transport. You breathe deeply. Let these fragrances fill your lungs, your bloodstream, your very cells. Feel yourself becoming part of this place, this moment, this ancient tradition of trade and hospitality. The spices become part of you, carrying their stories, their healing power, their connection to distant lands and generous hands. The carpet beneath you seems to grow softer, more supportive, the patterns more hypnotic, more soothing. You could sit here forever, lost in the gentle rhythm of conversation, of music, of community. Your breathing deepens. Your muscles relax completely. The perfume of spices wraps around you like silk, like prayer, like the embrace of countless generations of merchants and travelers. The tea in your glass grows cool, but the warmth in your chest remains, grows, spreads through your entire being. This is more than comfort, more than refreshment. This is connection, understanding, the deep peace that comes from being welcomed, from being included, from being part of something larger and older and infinitely beautiful. Chapter 3. Stars over the desert. The afternoon heat begins to fade as the sun descends toward the western horizon. The market sounds grow softer, more distant. Merchants begin to pack their more delicate goods, preparing for the cooler evening hours when the desert truly comes alive. You feel the pull of the open road, the ancient call that has drawn travelers for millennia. Your guide appears as if summoned by your thoughts, a weathered man whose eyes hold the wisdom of countless journeys. He speaks little, but his presence is reassuring, solid. He gestures toward where the camels wait, their loads carefully balanced, their eyes patient, knowing. They have walked these roads before, will walk them again, part of an endless cycle of journey and arrival. The preparation is ritual, almost ceremony. Each item checked, double-checked, secured with knots that have been perfected over centuries. The camel bells are polished until they shine like small suns, ready to sing their gentle song across the desert silence. Everything has its place, its purpose, its ancient wisdom. As twilight approaches, you leave the market behind. The sounds fade gradually, replaced by the soft shuffle of camel feet on sand, by the gentle tinkling of bells, by the vast silence that lives in the heart of the desert. This silence is not empty, but full, pregnant with possibilities, with stories, with the accumulated dreams of all who have passed this way. The first stars appear as pinpricks of light in the deepening sky. Venus shows herself first, brilliant, unwavering, the evening star that has guided travelers since the beginning of time. Then others follow, slowly, shyly at first, then with growing confidence as the sky darkens. Each one a lighthouse, a friend, a point of reference in the immensity. Your camel moves with ancient rhythm, each step deliberate, measured, efficient. The motion is hypnotic, soothing, like being rocked in the arms of the earth itself. Your body learns the rhythm, flows with it, becomes part of it, part of the endless dance between animal and human, between earth and sky, between journey and destination. The desert around you transforms as darkness falls. What seemed empty in daylight reveals its subtle beauty. Small shrubs silver in the starlight, sand dunes that flow like frozen waves, rocky outcrops that stand like ancient monuments. This landscape speaks in whispers, in shapes barely seen, in the language of shadow and suggestion. Your guide points upward, begins to speak softly of the stars. His words are careful, measured, carrying the weight of knowledge passed down through generations. He tells of Persian astronomers who mapped these lights, who gave them names, who understood their movements with precision that rivals modern science. Al-Sufi, Omar Khayyam, Ibn Rushd, names that float on the night air like prayers. Overhead, Perseus rises in the east, the hero constellation known to the ancients. Its stars forming patterns that speak of courage, of adventure, of the eternal human desire to explore, to discover, to push beyond the known. Each star in the constellation carries its own name, its own story, its own light across impossible distances. The Great Bear circles slowly around the North Star, Polaris, the constant friend of travelers, never moving, always faithful, always pointing toward true north. Persian navigators called it the lamp of the sky and used it to guide caravans across trackless wastes, across routes that existed only in memory and starlight. The Pleiades cluster sparkles like scattered diamonds, 7 sisters dancing eternally in the heavens. Different cultures see different stories in their arrangement, but all recognize their beauty, their mystery, their importance as markers of season and time. Your guide whispers their Persian names, words that sound like music, like incantation. As the night deepens, more stars emerge. The sky becomes a vast dome of light, so bright that you can see by starlight alone. The sand around you glows faintly, reflecting the celestial radiance, creating a world that seems suspended between earth and heaven, between reality and dream. You are walking through space itself, among the stars. Cassiopeia wheels overhead, her distinctive W shape unmistakable. The vain queen of mythology, condemned to circle the pole forever, but beautiful in her eternal dance. Persian poets wrote of her light, of her constancy, of the way she mimics the passing of hours, of seasons, of years. Your camel's bells chime softly with each step, creating counterpoint to the vast silence. The sound seems to travel forever in the thin air, echoing off distant rocks, fading into the infinity above. This music has accompanied caravans for thousands of years, will accompany thousands more, connecting past and future in its simple melody. The Southern Cross appears low on the horizon, visible for these few precious hours. Its 4 bright stars forming the smallest of the great constellations, but one of the most significant for navigation. Arab astronomers called it the jewel box of the South, and used it to guide ships across the Indian Ocean, to guide caravans across the southern routes. Your guide shares stories of the astronomers who worked in the great observatories of Persia, in Isfahan, in Tabriz, in Samarkand, men who spent their lives watching the sky, mapping the movements of planets and stars, calculating eclipses, predicting the future through mathematical precision. Their knowledge traveled the Silk Road alongside silk and spices, ideas as precious as any cargo. The constellation Orion dominates the southern sky. The hunter, the warrior, the guardian. His belt of 3 stars pointing towards Sirius, the brightest star in the night sky, a beacon visible from anywhere on Earth. Persian astronomers called Sirius the chief, and used its rising to predict the flooding of distant rivers, the changing of seasons, the proper times for planting and harvest. Around you, the desert stretches endless, but you do not feel lost. The stars above are map enough, guidance enough, comfort enough. They have watched over countless travelers, countless caravans, countless journeys of discovery and trade. Tonight, they watch over you, offering their ancient blessing, their eternal companionship. The sand beneath your camel's feet tells its own stories, stories of wind and time, of countless grains traveled from distant mountains, weathered by centuries of storm and sun, each dune shaped by forces too vast to comprehend, yet creating beauty of impossible delicacy, patterns that change daily, hourly, but somehow remain eternally the same. Your breathing naturally deepens in this vast space, the air thin, clear, carrying no scent except the faint sweetness of desert sage, of distant water, of stone warmed by day and cooled by night. This air has been breathed by prophets and kings, by merchants and pilgrims, by all who sought something beyond the boundaries of the known world. The Milky Way emerges as your eyes adjust to the darkness, a river of light flowing across the sky from horizon to horizon, so bright, so detailed, that individual star clouds become visible. This was the Silver River to Chinese astronomers, the bridge of birds to others, all recognizing in its beauty something sacred, something that connected Earth to the infinite. A shooting star streaks across the sky, brief, brilliant, gone almost before you can point. Your guide smiles, nods, speaks of wishes made on falling stars, of messages carried between earth and heaven, of the ancient belief that such lights carry the prayers of travelers, the dreams of those who dare to journey into the unknown. The constellation Cygnus spreads its wings overhead. The swan, flying eternally across the river of the Milky Way. Its brightest star, Deneb, one of the most luminous in the galaxy, so distant that its light left before human civilization began, yet still reaching you tonight, still offering its ancient radiance, still connecting you to the cosmic dance. Your camel's breathing creates small clouds in the cooling air. Rhythmic, steady, peaceful. The sound blends with the gentle chiming of bells, with the soft whisper of wind across sand, with the vast silence that encompasses all. This symphony of the desert night speaks of patience, of endurance, of the deep peace that comes from accepting your place in the cosmic order. The North Star draws your eyes upward again, Polaris, the axis around which the entire sky seems to turn. Though you know it is the earth that turns, not the sky, the illusion is perfect, comforting. The star seems to pulse gently, breathing light across the impossible distance. A cosmic lighthouse guiding all travelers toward home. Time moves differently here, measured not by clocks, but by the slow wheeling of constellations, by the gradual shift of star patterns across the dome of night. You could travel for hours or days and feel only the eternal now, the perfect present moment when earth and sky meet in your consciousness, when you become part of the infinite. Your guide points to Andromeda, the chained princess, her stars forming a long line across the northern sky. Within her constellation, invisible to naked eye, but real nonetheless, lies another galaxy, another Milky Way, with billions of stars and possibly countless worlds. The thought should be overwhelming, but somehow it's comforting. To know the universe is even vaster and more wonderful than imagination can grasp. A southern fish swims low in the southern sky, its bright star, Fomalhaut, gleaming like a jewel. Arids called it the solitary one, because it shines alone in a relatively empty region of sky. Yet even in solitude, it offers beauty, guidance, connection to the great web of light that unites all things. Your breathing has synchronized completely with the rhythm of your camel's gait. In with each step forward, out with each step back, creating a natural meditation, a moving prayer. Your body relaxed completely into this ancient rhythm, this dance between human and animal, between earth and stars, between journey and arrival. The desert silence deepens as the night progresses. Not the silence of emptiness, but the silence of fullness, of completion. All the sounds of day fade away, leaving only the essential, the eternal, the sounds that have accompanied desert travelers for millennia. Bell and breath, footfall and heartbeat, wind and the vast cosmic hum of existence itself. Above, the stars continue their eternal dance, turning slowly around Polaris, marking the passage of hours with celestial precision. each constellation telling its story, each star offering its light, each moment of the journey blessed by the accumulated radiance of the universe. You are held in this light, carried by it, made part of it, transformed into a fellow traveler among the stars. The horizon ahead shows the faintest suggestion of dawn. Still hours away, but already the sky begins its subtle shift from black toward the deep purple that precedes sunrise. But for now, you remain suspended in the heart of night, in the embrace of starlight, in the perfect peace of the desert crossing, where earth and heaven meet in the rhythm of camel bells, in the whisper of wind across sand, in the eternal silence that holds all sound, all light, all journeys, all arrivals. Chapter 4. Whispers of Silk and Ink. The pre-dawn darkness holds a special quality, a softness that speaks of transitions, of passages between night and day, between sleep and waking, between one state of being and another. Your caravan finds rest at a small oasis, a place marked by ancient stones, by the whisper of palm fronds, by the gentle sound of water finding its way through rock and sand. You dismount slowly, your body stiff from hours of travel, but pleasantly tired, the fatigue of honest journey rather than exhaustion. Your camel settles with a soft grunt, eyes already closing, trusting in the safety of this ancient stopping place. The bells on its harness chime once, twice, then fall silent. Near the center of the oasis, a small building emerges from the shadows, built of local stone, weathered smooth by centuries of desert wind. Its architecture simple, functional, but somehow beautiful in its perfect adaptation to this place. Small windows glow with warm lamplight, suggesting comfort, rest, the possibility of deeper refreshment than mere physical rest can provide. You approach the building, your footsteps muffled by sand that has blown against its walls for countless years. The wooden door stands slightly open, revealing glimpses of interior warmth, of carefully tended lamplight, of books and scrolls arranged with the reverence due to precious things. This is a library, a scriptorium, a place where knowledge rests during its own long journey along the Silk Road. Inside, the air carries different fragrances, the sweet scent of parchment and ink, the warm smell of olive oil burning in small lamps, the faint aroma of sandalwood and cedar from wooden shelves that hold centuries of accumulated wisdom. These scents blend into something approaching incense, transforming this simple room into a temple of learning. An elderly man looks up from a manuscript he has been copying, his eyes kind behind wire spectacles, his beard white as the parchment before him. He sets down his reed pen with careful precision, blots the fresh ink with fine sand, then gestures for you to enter, to share in the quiet sanctuary he has created in this desert place. The walls are lined with shelves, each one holding scrolls and bound books in dozens of languages, Arabic texts on astronomy and mathematics, Persian poetry, written in flowing Nastaliq script. Chinese treatises on medicine and philosophy. Greek manuscripts on geometry and natural philosophy. All traveling the Silk Road together. Ideas as precious as any cargo of silk or spice. You settle onto a low cushion near the old scholar's desk, the fabric soft beneath you, worn smooth by countless visitors who have sought rest in this place. Refuge from the physical journey in order to undertake a different kind of travel. The journey of the mind. The exploration of human knowledge and wisdom accumulated over centuries. This scholar shows you the manuscript he has been copying. The text is Persian poetry, the letters formed with exquisite care, each word a small work of art, the ink still wet, gleaming in the lamplight like liquid obsidian. He explains in gentle words that this is the work of Rumi, verses about the soul's journey toward divine love, copied and recopied, carried from city to city by merchants and mystics alike. You lean closer to examine the calligraphy. The letters flow like water, like wind, like the movement of silk in a gentle breeze. Each stroke deliberate, meditative, a form of prayer expressed through perfect technique. The scholar's hands, though aged, remain steady, guided by decades of practice, of devotion to the preservation of beauty and wisdom. He reads a few lines aloud, his voice soft, musical. The Persian, words rising and falling, like distant song. Though you may not understand the language, the rhythm carries meaning, speaks to something deeper than intellect, something in the heart that recognizes truth, regardless of the tongue that speaks it. The meaning comes through gesture, through the scholar's gentle translation, through the universal language of poetry itself. These verses speak of the journey every soul makes, seeking connection, seeking understanding, seeking the divine spark that connects all existence. The words seem to glow on the page, illuminated by more than lamplight. Around the room, other books and scrolls wait in patient silence. Medical texts from Arabian physicians, astronomical tables calculated by Persian mathematicians, philosophical treatises debated in the schools of Baghdad, Chinese poems celebrating the beauty of nature, all gathered here like travelers at a caravanserai, resting before continuing their endless journey from mind to mind. The scholar offers you a cup of tea, the liquid amber-colored, fragrant with cardamom and rose. You accept gratefully, wrapping your hands around the warm ceramic, feeling the heat flow into your palms, up your arms, spreading comfort through your travel-weary body. The first sip is perfect, not too hot, not too sweet, a masterpiece of simple perfection. On a nearby shelf, a collection of silk samples catches your eye. Each piece carefully mounted and labeled, the silk shimmers with its own inner radiance. Threads of gold woven through deep blue, creating patterns that seem to move, to breathe, to live. This particular piece, he explains, was woven in Kashmir, using techniques perfected over generations. Each thread placed with the precision of prayer, with the patience of meditation. The scholar's fingers trace the silk patterns as he speaks, his touch reverent, appreciative, understanding that he holds the work of human hands, human hearts, human dreams made manifest in thread and dye. This silk has traveled thousands of miles, has been treasured by emperors and merchants, has carried within its fibers the hopes and skills of countless artisans. From another shelf, he retrieves a small bottle of ink, the liquid, deep black, made according to ancient formulas, from soot and tree sap, from minerals ground to perfect fineness. He explains the process, how each ingredient must be selected, prepared, combined with the skill that comes only from years of practice. This ink will outlast the hand that uses it, will carry thoughts and words across centuries. You watch as he dips his reed pen, tests the flow on a scrap of parchment. The ink flows smoothly, evenly, creating lines of perfect consistency. No blots, no smears, just the pure expression of thought made visible. The pen itself is a work of art, cut from the finest reeds, shaped and sharpened with infinite care, responsive to the slightest pressure. The scholar begins a new page, his hand moving in the ancient rhythm of the calligrapher. Each letter formed with conscious intention, with awareness of proportion, of balance, of the way individual characters combine to create larger harmonies. This is not mere writing, but music made visible, architecture built from words, prayer expressed through perfect technique. The sound of his pen on parchment creates its own rhythm. Scratch, pause, scratch, pause, like a gentle percussion that echoes the deeper rhythms of creation itself. Your breathing naturally synchronizes with this sound, your heartbeat finding harmony with the ancient pulse of human creativity, of preservation, of the endless desire to share beauty and wisdom. Around you, the silence of the oasis deepens, broken only by the whisper of palm fronds outside, by the distant murmur of your fellow travelers settling into rest, by the soft sounds of the scholar's work. This silence is not empty, but full, pregnant with possibilities, with the accumulated wisdom of ages, with the peace that comes from being surrounded by human knowledge lovingly preserved. The lamplight flickers gently, casting moving shadows on the manuscript pages, on the silk samples, on the countless volumes that line the walls. These shadows seem to dance, to play among the letters and patterns, bringing life to things already alive with human creativity, making the whole room pulse gently with the rhythm of preserved thought. The scholar pauses in his work, looks up with a gentle smile, asks if you would like to try your hand at calligraphy. He prepares a fresh reed pen, shows you how to hold it, how to control the flow of ink, how to move your hand in the flowing gestures that create beautiful letters. Your first attempts are clumsy, imperfect, but somehow still beautiful in their sincerity, in their honest effort. The ink flows from your pen like liquid thought, creating marks that are uniquely yours, yet connected to centuries of tradition, to countless hands that have held similar pens, formed similar letters, struggled with the same challenges of translating thought into visible form. You feel the connection, the continuity, the sense of participating in something larger than yourself. As you work, the scholar speaks softly of the scribes who have preserved human knowledge, the monks in distant monasteries, the scholars in the great libraries of Baghdad and Cairo, the humble copyists who worked by candlelight to ensure that wisdom would not be lost. Their names mostly forgotten, but their work living on, their devotion made manifest in the books and scrolls that surround you. The tea grows cool in your cup, but the warmth in your chest remains, grows, spreads through your entire being. This is not just physical comfort, but spiritual nourishment, the deep satisfaction that comes from contact with beauty, with wisdom, with the best that human hands and minds can create. You are being fed on multiple levels, body and soul alike. Outside, the stars continue their ancient dance. But here, in this quiet sanctuary, time moves differently, measured not by celestial motion, but by the careful formation of letters, by the patient preservation of wisdom, by the slow, meditative rhythm of scholarly work. Each moment stretches, deepens, becomes rich with meaning and possibility. A scholar shows you a collection of poems about the desert, verses written by travelers who passed this way in centuries past. Their words capture the beauty you have experienced, the vastness, the peace, the way the desert strips away everything non-essential, leaving only the core, the true, the eternal. Reading their words, you feel connected across time to fellow travelers, fellow seekers. The parchment beneath your fingers feels alive, receptive, eager to receive whatever thoughts or dreams you might wish to commit to its surface. This paper was made by hand, created through processes perfected over millennia, from raw materials transformed through human skill into something that can hold ideas, preserve them, carry them across vast distances of time and space. Your eyelids grow heavy as you work, the gentle rhythm of writing, the warm lamplight, the comfortable cushions, a scholarly silence, all combining to create a deep drowsiness. But this is not the sleep of exhaustion, rather the peaceful letting go that comes after being deeply nourished, after connecting with sources of beauty and wisdom that feed the soul. The scholar notices your drowsiness, smiles with understanding, begins to prepare a place for rest among his books and scrolls, soft carpets arranged with care, As you settle into the prepared bedding, the scholar continues his work. The gentle scratch of pen on parchment, creating a lullaby, a perfect soundtrack for the transition toward sleep. The sound speaks of continuity, of patient devotion, of the endless human effort to preserve and share what is beautiful and true. You are held in this sound, cradled by it, carried by it toward dreams. A lamplight grows softer, or perhaps your eyes are simply growing heavier. The shelves of books seem to lean inward, protectively, creating a cocoon of wisdom around your resting place. These volumes hold the dreams and insights of countless human minds. Tonight, they share their accumulated peace with you, their promise that knowledge endures, that beauty survives, that the journey of discovery never truly ends. The scholar's pen moves across the page in gentle rhythm, preserving verses about love and longing, about the soul's journey toward truth, about the way all paths eventually lead toward the same destination. His work continues through the night, patient, devoted, ensuring that tomorrow's travelers will find the same nourishment that has fed your spirit tonight, the same beauty, the same wisdom, the same perfect peace. Chapter 5. The Dawn Bells. The first hint of dawn comes not as light, but as a subtle shift in the darkness, a barely perceptible lessening of night's depth, a whisper of change that speaks to something deeper than sight. You drift in the gentle space between sleep and waking, awareness flowing like water between dream and consciousness, held in the perfect peace of the scholar's sanctuary. The sound that gradually draws you toward wakefulness is soft, distant, almost part of the dream itself, the gentle chiming of camel bells as your fellow travelers begin their morning preparations. The sound drifts through the pre-dawn air like audible starlight, each note clear, pure, carrying the promise of new journey, new discovery, new wonder. You remain still, eyes closed, letting the sounds of awakening caravan wash over you like gentle waves. The soft voices of merchants checking their goods, the rustle of silk being carefully folded, the whisper of spices being secured in their containers, all conducted in the hushed tones appropriate to dawn, to transition, to the sacred time between night and day. The scholar still works at his desk, his lamp burning steadily, his pen moving across parchment with the same patient rhythm that accompanied your drift toward sleep. He pauses occasionally, dips his reed in ink, continues the eternal work of preservation, of sharing beauty and wisdom across the barriers of time and space. His presence is comforting, constant, like a lighthouse in the sea of night. Through the small windows, the sky begins its slow transformation, from deep black to the color of midnight velvet, then to dark purple, shot through with the faintest suggestion of gold. This is the hour of transition, when night releases its hold reluctantly, when day approaches on silent feet, when the world holds its breath in anticipation of rebirth. The air carries new fragrances now. The coolness of desert dawn, the faint sweetness of morning dew on sage and stone, the lingering sense of ink and parchment that have become part of your dreams. These fragrances blend into something approaching incense, blessing the transition from rest to motion, from contemplation to action, from inner journey to outer path. Your body awakens gradually, naturally, without the jarring transition of alarm or urgency. This is how awakening should be: gentle, organic, respectful of the deep rest that prepares the spirit for new adventure. You stretch slowly, feeling the pleasant soreness of travel in your muscles, the contentment of sleep among books and wisdom. The scholar looks up from his work, smiles with the particular kindness of those who understand the value of rest, of reflection, of the quiet hours that restore the soul. He has prepared tea, the liquid steaming gently in small glasses. The aroma speaks of cardamom and rose, of the perfect beginning to any day, any journey, any new chapter in the endless story of discovery. You sit up slowly, accept the offered tea with gratitude, the warm glass comfortable in your hands. The first sip, perfect temperature, perfect sweetness, perfect harmony of familiar flavors that speak of continuity, of tradition, of the way simple rituals connect us across time and culture. This tea has been shared by travelers for centuries, will be shared by travelers yet to come. Outside, the bells chime more frequently now, your camel and its companions stirring, stretching their long necks, preparing for another day of patient service. Their movements slow, deliberate, efficient. These creatures understand something humans often forget, that true progress comes not from hurry, but from consistency, from putting one foot in front of the other with steady determination. The scholar shows you the work he completed during the night. Pages of beautiful calligraphy, poems about journey and arrival, about seeking and finding, about the way all paths eventually lead toward home. The ink has dried to perfect blackness, the letters formed with exquisite care. This work will outlast the hand that created it, will carry its message of beauty and truth to readers yet unborn. He offers you a small scroll as a gift, your own attempt at calligraphy from the evening before, now rolled carefully, tied with a silk ribbon, transformed from exercise into keepsake, into tangible memory of this place, this night, this perfect pause in the longer journey. You accept it with reverence, understanding that you hold not just paper and ink, but a piece of your own story. A light outside grows stronger, the sky shifting from purple to deep rose, then to the color of pearls. Venus still shines in the western sky, but her radiance competes now with the approaching sun. Soon she will fade, invisible in daylight, but her presence remains, a reminder that beauty persists even when unseen, that guidance exists even when unnoticed. The scholar begins to gather his materials, preparing for his own transition from night work to day rest. His movements unhurried, reverent, treating each tool of his craft with the respect due to instruments of beauty and preservation. The reed pens, cleaned and stored, the ink covered carefully, the manuscripts arranged with loving precision. You rise from your bed among the books, fold the blankets with care, leave the sleeping area as you found it, ready for the next traveler who will seek rest among accumulated wisdom. This consideration is part of the ancient code of the road, the understanding that we are all temporary visitors, all dependent on the kindness and forethought of others. The sounds from outside intensify gently, the caravan awakening fully to the possibilities of new day. But still, all conducted in the hushed tones of dawn, still respectful of the sacred quality of this transition time. Voices blend with camel bells in symphony that speaks of departure, of continuation, of the eternal rhythm of the road. You move toward the door, pausing to bow slightly to the scholar who has shared his sanctuary, his wisdom, his perfect hospitality. He returns the gesture, adds his own blessing for safe travels, for continued discovery, for the deep peace that comes from knowing that some things endure, that beauty persists, that wisdom travels eternal roads that connect all seekers. Outside, the oasis emerges from darkness like a revelation. Palm trees standing in perfect silhouette against the brightening sky. The small spring reflecting the first light like liquid silver. Your fellow travelers moving with quiet efficiency among their preparations. All part of a scene that has repeated for thousands of years, will repeat for thousands more. Your camel greets you with a soft mumble, its eyes peaceful, accepting, ready for whatever the day might bring. The creature embodies patience, endurance, the deep wisdom that comes from accepting life as it unfolds, from meeting each moment with quiet dignity, from understanding that the journey is more important than the destination. The bells on its harness catch the early light, each one polished to mirror brightness, ready to sing the song of travel, to mark rhythm and time and distance with their gentle music. These bells will sound across desert silence, will echo off canyon walls, will announce your passage to other travelers on parallel paths. As you prepare to mount, the eastern horizon blushes with deeper color, rose deepening to gold, gold warming to the first suggestion of true sunrise. Still minutes away, but already transforming the world, painting the desert in shades that exist nowhere else, at no other time. This is the daily miracle, the recurring gift, the reminder that each day brings new possibilities. The scholar emerges from his sanctuary, moves among the departing travelers, offering small gifts, scrolls of poetry, bottles of precious ink, samples of silk touched by centuries of reverent hands. His generosity flows naturally, without calculation. part of the ancient tradition that recognizes all journeys as sacred, all travelers as pilgrims deserving support and blessing. A caravan leader raises his hand, the signal for departure. But even this gesture is gentle, unhurried, respectful of the dawn hour and its particular peace. There is no rush here, no urgency that would disturb the perfect balance of preparation and anticipation. Everything moves with the rhythm of centuries, with the patience of the desert itself. You mount your camel slowly, settling into the familiar saddle, feeling the creature gather itself for movement. For the day's journey toward whatever lies ahead, the other travelers take their places with similar, quiet efficiency, all part of a choreography perfected over millennia, a dance between human and animal, between preparation and departure. The first bell sounds clear and sweet in the dawn air. Then others join, creating harmony that speaks of community, of shared purpose, of the way individual journeys weave together into larger patterns, larger stories. The sound carries across the oasis, blessing the departure, marking the transition from rest to motion. Your camel rises in its distinctive two-stage motion. Rear legs first, then front. The movement fluid despite its complexity. You sway with the motion, already re-entering the rhythm of travel, the meditation of movement that has carried you across so many miles, so many experiences, so many moments of perfect beauty and peace. The caravan moves forward slowly, leaving the oasis gradually, reluctantly, each traveler carrying memories of rest and refreshment, of wisdom shared and beauty witnessed, of the scholar's perfect hospitality, of nights spent among books and dreams. These memories will sustain the long miles ahead, will provide comfort during difficult passages. The desert opens before you, vast, serene, painted in the impossible colors of sunrise. The sand reflects golden light, the rocks glow with inner fire. The sky blazes with beauty that steals breath, stops thought, opens heart to wonder that has no words. This is why people journey, not for destinations, but for moments like this, for beauty that transforms, for peace that heals. Behind you, the oasis grows smaller, but not less significant. It remains in memory as all perfect places do, available for return not through space, but through recollection, through the kind of inner journey that requires no camel, no provisions, no anything except willingness to remember beauty, to honor wisdom, to remain grateful for gifts freely given. The scholar stands in the doorway of his sanctuary, silhouetted against the lamplight that still burns within, watching the caravan depart with the satisfaction of duty fulfilled, of hospitality offered, of the ancient compact between those who preserve wisdom and those who carry it forward. His blessing follows you, invisible but real, part of the protection that surrounds all genuine pilgrims. The sun's edge appears above the eastern horizon, the first direct ray touching your face with warmth that seems to come from the source of all warmth, all light, all life itself. This is the daily resurrection, the recurring miracle, the reminder that darkness always gives way to light, that rest always prepares for renewed journey, that every ending contains new beginning. The bells chime with each step, marking rhythm and time and the gradual transformation of landscape as the caravan moves deeper into the desert's embrace. These sounds will accompany you through the growing heat of day, will provide comfort during the long afternoon hours, will remind you of this perfect dawn, this moment of transition, this blessing of continued journey. Your breathing deepens, synchronizes with the camel's gait, with the rhythm of the bells, with the vast silence that holds all sound. All tension releases from your muscles, your mind, your spirit. You are held here, cradled in this moment, supported by the ancient certainty that some journeys never truly end, that some peace endures beyond all change, that some beauty remains constant as the stars. The horizon stretches endless before you, behind you, around you on all sides, but you do not feel lost or overwhelmed. The vastness is comfort rather than threat, reminder of infinite possibility rather than cause for fear. You are part of something larger, older, more beautiful than individual existence, part of the eternal journey that connects all seekers, all travelers, all souls moving toward light. The dawn bells continue their gentle song, growing softer now, not because they sound less clearly, but because you are moving deeper into the peace they announce, deeper into the rhythm they mark, deeper into the perfect rest that comes not from stopping, but from moving with such complete harmony that motion becomes stillness, journey becomes arrival, travel becomes home. Your eyes grow heavy, not with exhaustion, but with the deep contentment that follows perfect experience, perfect rest, perfect preparation for whatever lies ahead. The bells fade gradually, replaced by silence, by peace, by the infinite quiet that holds all sound, all movement, all journeys, all dreams of the endless road that winds through desert and oasis, through night and dawn, through all the whispers that carry along the eternal Silk Road. Chapter 6. Whispers Before Dawn. You rest now in the quietest hour of night, when the desert holds its breath, and the ancient Silk Road sleeps beneath countless stars. The caravan has settled for these precious hours before dawn. You lie on soft Persian carpets, woven with threads of midnight blue and deep crimson, colors that have traveled thousands of miles from the looms of Isfahan to this peaceful moment, under the endless sky. Around you, fellow travelers breathe slowly, deeply, their quiet presence a gentle comfort in the vast expanse of the desert. You can hear the soft rustle of silk as someone adjusts their covering. The delicate sound whispers like wind through ancient olive groves. A night air carries the faintest trace of frankincense. This precious resin has traveled from the shores of Oman, carried by merchants who know every star, every hidden water source, every safe passage through the shifting sands. The scent drifts over you, warm and comforting, like a gentle blessing. Above you, the constellation Perseus rises slowly. The ancient Persians called these stars the guardian of the northern path. For centuries, caravans have navigated by these same lights, following routes established before memory began. You are part of this timeless journey, connected to all who have rested here before. A gentle breeze stirs, carrying with it the soft tinkle of silver bells hanging from the lead camel's harness. The sound is barely audible, like distant chimes in a temple garden. Each tiny note seems to echo across the centuries, connecting this moment to thousands of peaceful nights along this ancient road. Your breathing slows, matches the rhythm of the desert. In and out, as natural as the tide. In the distance, you hear the soft murmur of voices, merchants sharing quiet words, in languages that flow like water. Persian, Arabic, Turkmen, each tongue carrying stories of distant cities and beloved homes. The caravan master walks slowly among the resting travelers. His footsteps are silent on the soft sand. He moves like a Bardian spirit, ensuring all is well. His presence brings deep peace. You know you are safe, protected by ancient customs of hospitality and care. Somewhere nearby, a woman hums softly, a lullaby from Samarkand. The melody drifts over the sleeping camp, gentle as moonlight. The notes seem to float on the cooling air, wrapping around you like the finest cashmere shawl from the mountains of Kashmir. The stars above you tell stories older than empires. The Milky Way stretches across the dome of sky like a celestial river, flowing toward mysterious destinations. Ancient Persian astronomers called this river the Road of Light, and believed that souls traveled along it in their dreams. You close your eyes and feel the earth beneath you. This same earth has supported countless travelers. Marco Polo may have rested here 7 centuries ago. Silk merchants from Bukhara have gazed at these same stars, feeling the same deep peace that now settles over you. The night grows quieter still. Even the camels rest deeply, their breathing slow and regular. The desert creatures have retreated to their hidden places. The world belongs now to silence and starlight and the gentle rhythm of sleeping hearts. A faint breeze carries new scents: rosewater from Damascus gardens, cardamom from the spice markets of Herat. These fragrances blend together, creating an invisible tapestry of memories and dreams. Each breath you take draws you deeper into peaceful rest. The sand beneath your carpet holds the warmth of the day, released now in gentle waves. This warmth rises slowly through the layers of silk and wool, reaching your body with the tender care of desert hospitality. The earth itself cradles you in its ancient embrace. In the far distance, barely audible, comes the sound of a flute. Someone plays a melody, soft as a whisper. The notes float across the desert, like prayers carried on wings. The music speaks of home, of journey's end, of the peace found in simple moments under infinite skies. Your hands rest gently on the smooth silk coverlet. This fabric was created on looms in the workshops of Kashan, where master weavers work by lamplight, their fingers moving in patterns learned from their grandmothers. Each thread carries the blessing of patient hands and quiet dedication. The stars slowly wheel overhead, marking the passage of the peaceful night hours. Polaris, the North Star, remains constant, a faithful guide for all who travel the roads of the world. Its steady light reminds you that some things endure beyond time, beyond change. Nearby, you hear the soft sound of pages turning. A scholar reads quietly from a manuscript copied in the libraries of Baghdad. The words are whispered, prayers perhaps, or poetry that speaks of beauty and the wonder of this vast world. The gentle murmur mingles with your breathing. The night air grows softer, cooler, like silk against your skin. This is the hour when the desert becomes most gentle, when the harsh heat of the day dissolves into tender coolness that soothes every part of your being. You breathe deeply, drawing in this gift of peace. Around the camp, oil lamps burn low, their flames protected in glass lanterns from the workshops of Herat. The light flickers gently, casting soft shadows that dance slowly on the fabric walls of nearby tents. These shadows move like living prayers, peaceful and rhythmic. The camels stir slightly in their dreams, perhaps remembering green valleys and cool streams. Their presence is comforting. These faithful companions of the Silk Road have carried precious goods and weary travelers across impossible distances. Now they rest as deeply as you do. You feel your body sinking gently into the soft layers beneath you. Carpets from Tabriz, cushions filled with the down of geese that fly over the Caspian Sea. Each layer supports you with the tenderness of ancient craftsmanship and loving care. The night deepens around you, but holds no darkness, only soft mystery, the kind of gentle shadow that wraps around you like a mother's embrace. In this peaceful darkness, you are completely safe, completely at rest. The desert watches over you with infinite patience. A night bird calls softly from somewhere among the date palms of a distant oasis. The sound is pure and clear, like a silver bell ringing across water. This bird has sung the same sweet song for generations. Its voice connects this moment to all the peaceful nights that have come before. The wind carries whispers of stories told around countless campfires. Tales of cities made of pearl, of gardens where nightingales sing to the moon, of merchants who found not just wealth, but wisdom along these ancient paths. These stories float through your mind, gentle as dreams. Your breathing becomes even slower, deeper, matching the rhythm of the sleeping earth. Each breath draws you further into tranquility. Each exhale releases the day's concerns into the vast night sky, where they dissolve like morning mist over mountain peaks. The stars above you begin their slow fade as the night reaches its deepest hour. This is the time between times when the world rests most completely, when all creatures find their deepest peace. You are part of this ancient rhythm, this nightly blessing. In the distance, barely perceptible, comes the sound of someone grinding spices, cinnamon from the islands beyond the Arabian Sea. The aroma drifts across the camp, warm and comforting, promising the breakfast that will come with morning light. But for now, only rest matters. The silk beneath your fingers seems to pulse gently with life. This fabric was touched by mulberry leaves in gardens of myrrh, fed by streams that flow from distant mountains. Each thread carries a memory of sunlight and gentle rain. Now it offers you its accumulated softness. You hear the faint sound of water somewhere in the darkness, a well perhaps, or a small spring that feeds the patient earth. The sound is rhythmic, peaceful, like a heartbeat. This water has traveled through underground passages for centuries, emerging here to offer its gift to weary travelers. The night sky seems to lower gently toward the earth. Stars appear closer, more intimate, as if they lean down to whisper secrets to those who rest beneath their ancient light. You feel embraced by this cosmic tenderness, held safely in the vast arms of night. Around you, the sleeping caravan breathes as one, a community united in peaceful rest. People who have traveled from distant lands now share this moment of quiet, this deep trust that allows strangers to sleep safely. Side by side is one of the Silk Road's greatest treasures. The sand beneath everything holds memories of a million footsteps, of camels and horses, of merchants and pilgrims, of kings and common people, all seeking their own destinations, all finding moments like this when the journey pauses and peace descends like gentle rain. You feel yourself drifting deeper into this ancient rhythm. Your body grows lighter, supported by the earth, embraced by the air, covered by starlight. You are becoming part of the eternal story of rest and journey, of seeking and finding that is the Silk Road. The faintest hint of dawn, still hours away, whispers at the edge of the eastern horizon. But this promise of new light does not disturb your deepening peace. Instead, it comforts like knowing that morning will bring its own gentle gifts, while night offers its perfect rest. A merchant nearby turns slightly in sleep and murmurs words in the language of Turkestan. Even in dreams, he speaks of home, of bazaars filled with laughter, of children playing in courtyards shaded by ancient plane trees. His peaceful sleep adds to your own growing tranquility. The night air moves with barely perceptible currents, carrying microscopic grains of sand from Hotan, where jade merchants polish precious stones by moonlight. This same air has flowed across the ruins of Merv, the minarets of Bokhara, the gardens of Samarkand. Now it flows over you, connecting you to all these places of beauty and wonder. Your mind grows quiet, thoughts becoming like distant clouds, drifting slowly across an empty sky. Each thought grows softer, more distant, until only peace remains, only the gentle awareness of breathing, of resting, of being held by the eternal kindness of the sleeping earth. The oil lamps burn even lower now, their flames barely visible, but their warmth remains. These lamps burn oil pressed from olives grown in the terraced gardens of the Alborz Mountains. The light they cast is the same gentle glow that has comforted travelers for countless centuries. Somewhere in the camp, silk rustles softly as someone adjusts their pillow. The sound is barely audible, but carries with it the whisper of silkworms in their cocoons, the patience of women, spinning threads finer than spider webs, the care of merchants who transport these treasures across impossible distances. You feel the vast expanse of the desert around you, not as emptiness, but as fullness, the fullness of space and silence and starlight. This desert has witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the passage of armies and conquerors, but always it returns to this peaceful state, this eternal rest. The night grows deeper, more complete. Your breathing becomes part of the larger breathing of the sleeping world. The gentle in and out that sustains all life connects you now to the sleeping birds in distant oases, to the peaceful camels dreaming of green pastures, to all who find rest beneath these stars. A gentle warmth spreads through your body, starting from your heart, flowing outward, like honey poured from clay jars made in the workshops of Re. This warmth carries the accumulated comfort of every peaceful night ever spent along this ancient road. It flows through you, dissolving tension, bringing deep, abiding peace. The stars continue their slow dance across the dome of heaven. Venus, the morning star, still sleeps beyond the eastern horizon. The night belongs completely to rest, to dreams, to the gentle restoration that comes when the world grows still and hearts find peace. You notice how the sand curves gently around rocks and bushes, shaped by winds that have blown since the world was young. These same winds have carried the prayers of countless travelers, the hopes of merchants, the dreams of pilgrims. Now they carry your breath, adding it to this eternal song of human longing and divine peace. The silence deepens, but it is not empty. It pulses gently with life, with the quiet presence of sleeping friends, with the patient watching of the stars, with the loving attention of the earth itself. You rest within this living silence, held, cherished, perfectly safe. Far above, a shooting star traces its brief path across the darkness. Ancient Persian astronomers called these lights the tears of angels, weeping for joy at the beauty of creation. This single streak of light blesses your rest, connects you to the wonder that flows through all things. Your body grows heavier, more relaxed with each breath. The Persian carpet beneath you, woven with patterns that represent the four gardens of paradise, supports you with the accumulated skill of generations of weavers, each knot tied with intention, each color chosen with care. Now it offers you its deepest comfort. The night air moves around you, carrying the essence of jasmine, blooming in gardens you may never see, but which exist in the vast network of beauty that is the Silk Road. Each flower, each garden, each moment of beauty contributes to this peace that now settles over your heart. Time moves differently in these deep hours. Each moment expands gently, holding infinite space for rest, for healing, for the quiet restoration that happens when we trust the night to hold us safely. While we surrender to sleep's gentle embrace, you hear the distant sound of water moving through irrigation channels that have flowed for 1,000 years. These waterways, carved by the hands of patient farmers, bring life to desert gardens where pomegranates spray heavy on ancient branches. The sound of this water flows through your dreams, promising abundance, promising life. A fabric that covers you whispers stories of silkworms feeding on mulberry leaves in groves planted by the grandfathers of grandfathers. Each thread represents patient growth, natural transformation, the miracle of simple creatures creating beauty that outlasts empires. You rest beneath this legacy of wonder. A gentle coolness rises from the earth, the desert's way of preparing for dawn's return. This coolness flows over your skin, soothing, refreshing, like the first breath of morning wind over mountain lakes in distant Tajikistan. You breathe this coolness, drawing it deep into your peaceful body. The stars seem closer now in this quiet hour. Aldebaran, the follower, watches over you with its steady orange light. For Persian astronomers, this star marked the beginning of spring, the return of life to sleeping gardens. Its light touches you now, with the same gentle promise of renewal and rest. Around the camp, the subtle sounds of deep sleep create a soft symphony. The rustle of fabric, the quiet breathing, the occasional soft sigh of someone dreaming of home. These sounds weave together into a lullaby, older than civilization, the song of human beings finding peace in each other's presence. You feel the vast history of this place flowing beneath you. Armies have passed here. Pilgrims have prayed here. Merchants have counted profits and losses. But all of that belongs to the busy day. Now only rest remains, only the eternal peace that night brings to the weary and the wise. The scent of distant roses drifts on the night air. These flowers bloom in hidden gardens of Shiraz, where poets once walked, writing verses about the beauty of simple moments. The fragrance reaches you across centuries, across miles, carrying with it the accumulated beauty of every peaceful night. Your mind grows quiet, thoughts becoming like distant music, playing far away, too soft to disturb. Your deepening rest. Each thought dissolves gently into the vast peace that surrounds you, leaving only the simple awareness of breathing, of being held by the loving night. The silk beneath your head was spun in workshops where apprentices learned the ancient arts from masters who learned from their masters. An unbroken chain of knowledge and skill stretching back to the origins of human creativity. This silk pillow cradles your head with the accumulated tenderness of centuries. Somewhere in the darkness, you hear the soft sound of someone preparing tea for the pre-dawn hours, the gentle clink of small glass cups, the whisper of steam rising from the samovar that has traveled from the bazaars of Tashkent. Even in sleep, the caravan maintains its rhythms of care and comfort. The constellation Cassiopeia wheels slowly across the northern sky. Ancient Persian navigators used these stars to find their way across trackless deserts, the same stars that guide you now into the trackless realm of peaceful sleep. Each star, a point of light, leading you deeper into rest. You notice how your breathing has synchronized with the vast breathing of the night itself. The gentle rise and fall that sustains all life carries you now like a leaf on a peaceful stream. No effort required, only surrender to the natural rhythm that connects all living things. The night wind carries whispers of grass growing in distant meadows, where nomads' horses graze beneath the same stars. This grass will become hay that feeds animals, that carry merchants along routes you may never travel, but which are part of the great web of connection that is the Silk Road. Around you, the sleeping caravan seems to glow softly with accumulated peace. Each traveler contributes their own quiet dreams, their own gentle breathing to the collective rest. You are held in this community of peaceful sleep, safe, cherished, completely at ease. The coolness deepens as night reaches its most tranquil hour. This is when the earth releases its deepest peace, when the air becomes most pure, most gentle. You breathe this air and feel it flowing through you, carrying away every trace of tension, every shadow of worry. In the distance, very faint, comes the sound of someone chanting prayers in Arabic. The words flow like water, like a gentle stream over smooth stones. These same prayers have been offered in the darkness for centuries, creating a bridge of devotion between earth and sky. The sound blends with your heartbeat, becoming part of your peaceful rest. A silk road stretches away in both directions into mystery. But here, in this moment, there is no need to go anywhere, to seek anything. All that matters exists here, in this perfect rest, beneath these eternal stars. The journey pauses, and in pausing, finds its deepest meaning. You feel yourself sinking deeper into the earth's embrace. The sand, shaped by countless winds, cradles your body with infinite gentleness. This same sand has supported the tents of kings, the sleeping mats of humble pilgrims. Now it supports you with the same loving care. The night air moves in gentle currents, carrying microscopic traces of saffron from fields where purple flowers bloom briefly each autumn. This most precious spice colors the dreams of those who rest along the Silk Road. Its essence flows through you now, bringing golden peace to your sleeping mind. Above you, the stars pulse gently with ancient light, light that left distant suns when the first caravans began their journeys, when the Silk Road was just a dream in the minds of brave merchants. Now this light reaches you, carrying the blessing of vast time and infinite space. The sounds of the camp grow even softer. A horse shifts its weight somewhere in the darkness. The leather of its harness creaks gently. This leather was worked by craftsmen in Merv, using techniques passed down through generations. The sound is peaceful, like the settling of old wood in a beloved home. You feel the vast network of connections that brought you here. The roads and paths, the rivers and mountain passes, the ancient routes that link east to west, north to south. You are a part of this eternal web of human movement and commerce and wonder. Now you rest at one precious point in this vast tapestry. The night grows deeper still, if such a thing were possible. The darkness becomes more complete, more nurturing. It wraps around you like the finest wool from sheep that graze in valleys high in the Hindu Kush. This darkness holds no fear, only the deep comfort of being hidden in night's gentle arms. A soft breeze stirs the fabric of nearby tents. The sound is like distant waves lapping against shores of mountain lakes where travelers have stopped to rest for centuries. This gentle rhythm echoes now in your peaceful heart, connecting you to all peaceful waters everywhere. The sand around you holds the memory of rain that fell here months ago. Each grain, touched by water, blessed by the sky, now dry and worn, this sand creates a bed softer than any in the palaces of great cities. The earth offers you its simplest, most generous gift. Your hands rest gently on silk coverlets. These fabrics, dyed with indigo from plants grown in the oases of Khotan. The color, deep as midnight water, calm as the spaces between stars, surrounds you with beauty that requires no effort, only appreciation, only rest. The oil in the distant lamps comes from olives that grew slowly in groves planted by the grandfathers of today's gardeners. Each drop of oil represents patient tending, careful harvesting, the transformation of simple fruit into sustaining light. This light watches over your peaceful sleep. You breathe the accumulated peace of countless nights along the Silk Road. Each breath draws in the serenity left by all who have rested here. Merchants dreaming of profit and home, pilgrims seeking sacred places, scholars carrying precious manuscripts. All have contributed their piece to this moment. The silence deepens, but remains alive with gentle presence. The kind of quiet that exists in the heart of temples, where incense burns before statues carved from jade, brought from the mountains of Kunlun. This sacred silence flows through you, bringing the peace that passes understanding. Far overhead, clouds move slowly across the star field, so high, so distant, they seem part of the sky itself. These clouds carry moisture from seas you have never seen, from lands beyond imagination. They drift now across your dreams, bringing coolness, bringing rest. The night reaches its deepest point, the hour when sleep is most profound, when dreams are clearest, when the boundary between waking and sleeping becomes soft, permeable. You float gently on this boundary, neither fully asleep nor entirely awake, but resting in perfect peace. Around you, the caravan settles deeper into sleep. The camels breathe slowly, their great hearts beating steadily in a rhythm that has carried them across thousands of miles. Their breathing mingles with yours, creating a gentle symphony of peaceful rest, of trust, of surrender to night's embrace. The stars wheel in their ancient patterns. Ursa Major, the great bear, climbs slowly toward its zenith. Ancient Persian astronomers saw in these stars the wagon of the sky farmer, plowing fields of light across the darkness. The same stars that guided the first merchants now watch over your peaceful sleep. You feel yourself dissolving gently into the peace that surrounds you, your body still resting on soft carpets, but your awareness expanding to include the gentle breathing of your companions, the vast patience of the desert, the loving watch of the stars. The night air carries new fragrances, mint growing wild beside hidden springs, lavender from mountain slopes where shepherds graze their flocks in summer. These scents blend together, creating an invisible garden around your resting place. Each breath brings you deeper into tranquility. The sound of the wind through distant rocks creates the softest music, like flutes played by invisible musicians. This music has accompanied every peaceful night along the Silk Road. It plays now for your rest, a lullaby composed by the desert itself, ancient beyond measure. Your heartbeat slows, deepens, finding the rhythm that connects all peaceful hearts. This is the heartbeat of the earth itself, steady, reliable, eternal. As your heart matches this rhythm, you join the vast community of all who rest in peace. The darkness around you pulses gently with unseen life. Night birds fly on silent wings, high above. Desert flowers bloom only in darkness, releasing their fragrance to the cooling air. Nocturnal creatures move quietly through their secret paths. All of life continues gently while you rest. A warm breeze rises from the south, carrying with it the scent of orange blossoms from orchards in distant Isfahan. These trees planted centuries ago by gardeners who understood the art of creating beauty that outlasts human lifetimes. Their fragrance reaches you now, a gift across time. The constellation Drago, the dragon, coils slowly around the North Star. But this dragon breathes peace, not fire. Its coils create a protective circle around all who rest beneath the northern sky. You sleep within this ancient protection, safe, beloved, completely at peace. You feel the gentle support of the earth rising up to meet your body. Every curve, every angle, perfectly supported. The ground itself adjusts to cradle you with the same care that a loving parent shows to a sleeping child. This is the earth's gift to all who trust its embrace. The night deepens toward its final hour, but there is no hurry, no urgency, only the gentle flow of time, like honey from the hives of bees that gather nectar from wild flowers blooming in secret places. Throughout the vast desert, time flows over you, sweet, golden, peaceful. In the distance, barely audible, someone plays a traditional Persian sitar. The strings vibrate gently, creating music that seems to come from the stars themselves. Each note pure, clear, hanging in the air like drops of dew on morning roses. The music flows into your peaceful sleep. The silk beneath you holds the memory of the silkworms that created it. These creatures spent their lives spinning beauty in the mulberry groves of ancient Khotan. Their patient work now supports your peaceful rest. Their legacy of transformation continues in your own journey toward deep sleep. Around you, the camp breathes as one, a single organism of peace. Every person, every animal, every object participates in this collective rest. You are part of this greater breathing, this larger peace that encompasses all who travel the roads of the world. The coolness grows more complete, preparing the way for dawn's eventual return. But dawn is still hours away. Its coolness flows over you like water from mountain springs in the Pamirs, where snow melts slowly into streams that eventually reach the sea. You breathe this mountain coolness, drawing it deep into your being. The stars seem to sing silently, a song older than human language. This is the music that fills the spaces between heartbeats, between breaths, between thoughts. It plays now for your rest, a cosmic lullaby that has soothed sleeping travelers since time began. You rest now in the deep heart of the night, where all roads meet, where all journeys pause, where the eternal peace that underlies all movement, all seeking, reveals itself. This peace was always here, waiting for you to grow still enough to receive it. The night air carries traces of cedar from forests that grow on mountain slopes 1,000 miles away. This wood becomes the chests that hold silk, the boxes that protect spices, the beams that support the roofs of caravanserais. Its essence reaches you now, grounding you in the strength of growing things. Your breathing becomes even softer, more gentle, barely disturbing the still air around you. Each breath a whisper of gratitude for this peace, for this rest, for the ancient kindness that brings strangers together under the same protective sky. The caravan master sleeps nearby, his weathered face peaceful in dreams. He has led hundreds of caravans across these routes, but tonight he rests as simply as any traveler. The same peace that fills his sleeping mind flows now into yours. The wind moves through distant canyons, creating sounds like distant flutes, like the echo of prayers sung in languages you do not know, but which speak directly to your heart. These sounds, too soft to disturb your rest, add their blessing to your deepening sleep. You feel yourself becoming part of the ancient rhythm of the Silk Road, the eternal cycle of journey and rest, of seeking and finding, of moving forward and pausing to receive the gifts that come only in stillness. You join this rhythm, adding your own peaceful breathing. The stars continue their slow dance, but you are drifting beyond the need to watch their movement, sinking deeper into the place where all stars are one light. where all roads lead to the same peaceful destination, where all travelers find the same gentle rest. The night holds you with infinite tenderness, the same tenderness that watches over every sleeping child in every city along the Silk Road, from Bukhara to Baghdad, from Damascus to Beijing. You are held in this vast network of loving protection. A final gentle breeze stirs the camp, carrying with it the promise of dawn, still distant, still soft. This breeze touches your face like a blessing, like a gentle hand, smoothing away the last traces of the day's concerns, leaving only deep, abiding peace. The silence becomes complete, but filled with love. The kind of silence that exists in the heart of all beautiful things, in the center of blooming flowers, in the core of precious stones, in the depth of peaceful waters. This silence fills you now. Your body grows lighter, more relaxed, with each passing moment. The Persian carpet beneath you seems to float, carrying you on waves of accumulated comfort. You rest on centuries of careful craftsmanship, of loving attention to beauty and comfort. The night reaches its deepest hour, when the world rests most completely. You feel yourself joining this universal rest, your breathing becoming part of the earth's breathing, your heartbeat part of the cosmic rhythm that sustains all peaceful sleep. The stars fade gently from your awareness, not disappearing, but becoming part of the peace that fills you. They shine now in your dreams, lighting paths through landscapes more beautiful than any you have seen while waking. The last sounds of the waking world dissolve into gentleness. The distant chanting becomes silence. The soft breeze becomes stillness. The flickering lamps become the steady glow of inner peace. You rest now in the deep heart of tranquility. The Silk Road stretches away into dreams, where distance has no meaning, where every step brings you closer to perfect rest. You travel now on roads paved with starlight, toward destinations made of peace, accompanied by guides made of love. The night settles completely around you, over you, through you. You are no longer separate from this vast peace. You have become part of it, a note in its eternal song, a breath in its endless rhythm, a star in its infinite sky. The earth holds you with perfect tenderness. The air surrounds you with gentle protection. The stars watch over you with ancient love. All of creation participates in your peaceful rest. All roads lead to this moment of perfect peace. Your awareness grows softer, more distant, like moonlight reflected in still water. You float gently on waves of accumulated peace, carried by currents of ancient kindness toward shores made of rest, made of dreams, made of love. The night breathes you as you breathe the night. The boundary between self and peace dissolves gently, naturally. You become the quiet breathing of the sleeping caravan, the soft whisper of wind through distant palms, the gentle pulse of starlight on sand. The Silk Road continues its journey through your dreams, but you no longer need to walk. You are carried now by the road itself, by the accumulated peace of every peaceful moment that has ever existed along this ancient path. You rest in the heart of the eternal journey. A last traces of waking awareness dissolve like sugar in warm tea, sweet, gentle, completely natural. You sink into the vast ocean of peaceful sleep, where all travelers eventually arrive, where all roads meet in dreams. The darkness becomes luminous, filled with the soft glow of perfect rest. This is not the absence of light, but the presence of deeper peace, the kind of radiance that shines from within when the soul finds its true home in stillness. Your breathing barely disturbs the night air now, each breath softer than a flutter of silk scarves in the gentlest breeze. Your chest rises and falls in perfect harmony with the breathing of the sleeping earth. You have joined the vast rhythm of peaceful existence. The Persian carpet beneath you seems to pulse gently with accumulated warmth. Warmth from all the peaceful bodies that have rested here. Warmth from the sun that blessed the sheep whose wool became this comfort. Warmth from the hands that wove these patterns with love and skill. In the deepest part of your mind, colors begin to bloom. Soft blues like twilight over the Caspian Sea. Gentle golds like lamplight on ancient manuscripts. Deep purples like grapes ripening in vineyards beside the road to Samarkand. These colors flow together, creating the landscape of dreams. The night wind moves through the camp, touching each sleeping form with the same gentle blessing. This wind has traveled across the steppes of Central Asia, over the peaks of the Pamirs, through valleys where apricot trees bloom in spring. It carries all these blessings to your rest. Around you, the caravan sleeps deeply. Each person a universe of peaceful dreams. The merchant from Bukhara dreams of his children playing in courtyards. The scholar from Cordoba dreams of libraries filled with wisdom. The potter from Kashan dreams of clay spinning slowly into beauty. All these dreams blend together, creating a tapestry of peace. The stars no longer seem separate points of light. They flow together into a river of luminous peace. This celestial river carries you gently downstream toward the ocean of deepest rest, where all light originates and returns. Your body feels weightless now, supported not just by carpets and cushions, but by the love that flows through all things. The same love that moves merchants to share water with strangers, that inspires craftsmen to create beauty that will outlast their own lives. The coolness spreads through you like a blessing, washing away every memory of heat, of effort, of concern. This coolness comes from the hearts of distant glaciers in the Tian Shan, where snow has rested for centuries, gathering peace to share with the world. In the vast silence, you hear the sound of your own heart beating gently, steadily. This heartbeat connects you to every heart that has ever beat along the Silk Road, to every moment of courage, of hope, of simple human endurance that has made this journey possible. The night embraces you completely. Your individual self dissolves gently into the larger self that includes the sleeping caravan, the patient desert, the watching stars, the eternal road that connects all seekers, all dreamers, all who long for peace. Time loses all meaning. There is only this eternal now, this moment that expands to include all moments of peace that have ever existed. You rest in the center of this vast, loving presence, held, cherished, completely safe. The silk that covers you whispers stories of transformation, how the humble caterpillar becomes something capable of creating beauty, how simple threads become fabric that comforts across centuries, how your own journey along the Silk Road transforms you into something more peaceful, more whole. The earth beneath the carpets pulses gently with the deep heartbeat of the planet. This rhythm has sustained all life since the beginning. It supports you now with the same unwavering love that holds mountains in place, that keeps oceans in their beds. Around you, the sleeping forms of your companions seem to glow with inner light. The light of peaceful hearts, of minds at rest, of souls touching for a moment the eternal peace that underlies all existence. This light flows between you, connecting all in perfect harmony. The wind carries whispers of ancient prayers. Thank you for spending these quiet moments with us, here where stories breathe and the night listens. If this journey brought you peace, please like, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Every word from you helps shape the stories yet to come. Until we meet again, may your sleep be deep, your dreams gentle, and your heart at rest.